Welcome to the Rogers Kakasungura YouTube channel. There are some presidents, when you look at them speak, you see failure. I know some Ugandans might not agree with this one, but Museveni has consistently been asking that when will Africans fly to the moon as some developed countries do. So in short, Museveni is rendering Africans incompetent on matter science because he has never seen any country from Africa preparing to go to the moon. But the question I'm asking, Museveni has been in leadership for over 40 years as the president. Then the biggest question we should ask him, why has Uganda not made it to the moon for the 40 years you've been the president? It's good. You know, when Museveni stands to speak, you see value. You see sense. But I go back and ask myself, yes, you are telling us this. But what have you done in the 40 years you've been in a leadership? Why does he always bring these discussions towards an election? I have heard that he's now proposing that we should have a military federation in East Africa. It's okay, nobody's denying it. But why bring these discussions towards an election? Uganda is moving to the general election early next year. It's just a few months to the election. What have you discussed on the same for the 40 years you've been in power? It's like now, in Kenya, William Ruto is telling Kenyans that if you give me another term, I will transform Kenya to the status of Singapore. Then you sit and ask yourself, this is an individual who has been a member of parliament for decades. He has been a minister for decades. When he was the minister in the Ministry of Agriculture, he was hit with a maize scandal. This is an individual who has been the deputy president for 10 years. All he did was to abuse Uhuru and abuse other politicians for selfish gains. This is an individual who has been a president for 4 years now. So what is this that William Ruto has not done that he wants to do in 5 years of second term? Ati kwa miaka mitano, he will transform Kenya to Singapore. It's okay, that's a topic for another day. But it's the same thing that Museveni is telling people. At now, I want another term for me to push the formation of East African Military Federation. Then you ask yourself, what have you done in 40 years you've been in leadership? You were in leadership when Moi was the president. What did you do with him? Tanzania uliongoza na kina Jakaya Kikwete, kina Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. You were with them in leadership. Ulifanya nini? Mmekuwa uongozi na kina Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame is still the president. Wewe umefanya nini? Ati sasa now, because you want another term, ndio unaambia East Africa kwamba mnataka mtengeneze military federation. Ya nini? You know, Museveni claims this has been a long-standing vision. Then the question remains, why have you not effected it? It has been a long-standing vision. It's okay, nobody is disagreeing with you, Museveni. But why have you never effected it? If it has been 40 years you've been in leadership as the Ugandan president. Some of the people you were together in power are now fossils. They are now history. Look at kina Moi, look at kina Kibaki. History. Kina Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, history. But wewe bado uko hai, what have you done? Sometimes, as the people, the electorate, we should always stand up and ask tough questions. Kama Ruto anawapeleka Singapore, muulize. If you didn't manage a quarter of Singapore in 5 years when you were the president, how will you manage 100% Singapore in 5 years of second term? These are the questions we don't even ask. Eh? Someone who is taking you to Singapore is stealing every day. Someone who is taking you to Singapore is looting your tax every day, is over borrowing every day. Museveni, who is proposing for a military federation, this is an individual who was telling Ugandans the other day that I want to move you from poverty. Then you ask yourself, if you never removed us from poverty for 40 years, will you manage in 5 years you will be in leadership? 40 years umekuwa kiongozi, haujawahi kutoa kwa umaskini. Sasa saa hii after 40 years is when you are waking up, unataka kutoa Ugandans from poverty. Kuna kitu tunaita probability. Probability ni ya statistics ama mathematics, I don't know. Mimi mambo ya hesabu na wanahabari ingiani. Sisi ni watu wa Kizungu na Kiingereza. Kizungu na Kiswahili, sio Kizungu na Kizungu is the same as Kiingereza. So sisi ni watu wa Kiswahili na Kiingereza. Of course, you know what Museveni is proposing here is within the East Africa Community Blueprint, which when I was looking at it, the East African Community integration process had 4 stages. Number 1, it had a proposal for a custom union. It had a proposal for a common market. It had a proposal for a monetary union. And finally, a political federation, which Museveni has been quiet about it and is now bringing the topic towards an election because he wants another term. We know your tricks. We know your tricks. So, the people of Uganda, it's high time you let Mzee rest. Don't kill Mzee in power. Mzee needs to take a rest and become an advisor. In the few years God will give him life. Aenda pumzike. Finally, tutamutuma aenda kusalimia kina Gideon Moi. Kina Moi, not Gideon. Kina Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. We will send him very soon. Very soon, in future, we will send him to go and see how kina Kibaki are faring on. We will soon send him to go and see how kina Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi are faring on. We will soon send him to take a report to Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and tell him that the country you left has been looted and it's going bankrupt. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Asanteni.